Are you ready to jump into financial stocks? They seem lucrative and familiar, while also complicated and risky. Well, we invited Kevin Matthews from buildingbread.com to dispel any confusion about financial stocks. This is a guide to financial stocks with Kevin Matthews.
Everyone loves metrics or ratios or, there's all these different metrics and ratios or indicators. Is there any ones in particular besides cash flow, besides all those? Is there something that you try to look for in the metrics or anything like that?
For me, no, not like, some people are really into PE ratio or the PEG ratio. I'm not too big into those. I think while those can be helpful, I think as humans, we can get a little bias on those where it's just like, oh, I see the number and nothing else, right?
Yes.
And we tend to lose a lot of the context. So for me, I personally don't. I keep a spreadsheet myself, though, of what the free cash flow is, and I try and run a calculation in terms of what I think the value of that company should be, and whether it's overvalued or undervalued. That's a little more advanced for most, but again, I'm really just kind of looking at those main things. Is it a profitable business? Has it done so for a long period of time? I can easily pull up a graph anywhere and say, oh, this graph is green, right? Or it's red. And then, I can read a few articles to see whether or not things are going to move, I think things are going to move in the right direction. I will say, though, that if you go to any company's website and scroll down to the annual report, I find a wealth of information there, because usually within the first, I would say, 10 or 15 pages, no, you don't have to read the entire document. Nobody does. I'll say that right now. These are like 140-page reports. But I like to go to the summary section because it tells you exactly what the company is trying to do. And then there's a risk section. Every company has risk. And I love to read that section because it tells you exactly what they're afraid of and what's going to be challenging for them. Everybody's going to say, like, hey, if we run out of money, it's going to be a problem. That's obvious, right? They have to have some risk. But it will say, hey, there's a lawsuit out here. There is a law that could change. What about interest rates, right? Those things will immediately tell me, like, hey, I do see this coming. I might want to make a change.